there, dipshits. It's me, Joey, a.k.a. Slooty Mage.
I'm Hunter, voice of Hunter Taylor.
And I'm Carter, Eagle. We're
OlderNDumber.
Every Friday, we drop wisdom, humor, and a whole lot of nonsense. You won't want to miss it.
Become a patron today for as low as $5 a month. Get early access to all our episodes and exclusive behind-the-scenes looks at all the things we're doing and May's super secret editing notes.
Shout out to all our awesome dipshits. Your support really helps keep this madness going.
Join the crew. Be a dipshit. It's an exclusive club, and you're invited.
So, dipshits, mark your calendar every Friday for a dose of OlderNDumber craziness. See you there.
Fade to black. On my stand. Fade to black. What are you drinking?
Circle berry mix thing, whatever it is.
You could have told us anything, and that's what you told us. No. You could have been like, "There's tequila in here." You could have been like, "I'm drinking a little rum." You were like, "Nah, tell you I'm drinking some protein."
It's
Prime.
It's meth, okay? It's meth.
Just some meth laced water. You know what I'm saying?
You couldn't get it to like harden into crystals, so I just dumped it into here.
That's okay. It's a good time, man.
I don't know. I kind of feel like an idiot sometimes. Although I am an idiot, so it kind of works out.
Did you eat a lot of paint chips when you were a kid?
That's so funny. Last time I heard that, I laughed so hard I fell off my dinosaur. Put that cookie down now!
That is the most real, authentic, hysterical laugh of my entire life, because that is not a plan.
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
Welcome to another episode of Older and Dumber, the podcast about three dumb friends just trying to make it on this planet we call
Earth.
Usually that sounds a lot better, but there's only one person to say it this time. Usually there's a third guy here, but he didn't show up today.
He's busy.
He's busy. He's doing things.
Well, I'm the replacement. I just wish I knew about the Earth.
Exactly. There you go.
You told him everything else except that.
I did. Told him everything but that. It's okay. Well, you know, at the end of the show, when we do it again, you can do it then.
Can't wait to botch it then.
Yep.
Well, if you didn't know, today we have the man, the myth, the legend, TJ Epixx.
Super kick. Moonsault.
Joining us here today for the podcast.
Hey guys, what's up? How you doing?
Hey. And as per usual, you know, you have me and Joey.
See me
you
do
know.
that great react for all the audio-only listeners.
Yeah, I know, right? Anyway, usually, guys, as we start the show, we always go on weeks, and usually we start with Carter, but today we're going to start with Joey. Joey, how's your week been, man?
2 weeks without Carter. What a week.
I know. What awesome episode. I mean, what did I just say?
Let's see. I lost power for 24 hours in the tornado. Mark
I
safe
forgot
from
about that.
Steuben County tornado.
You had a full 24 hours plus?
Yeah.
Did you lose any food?
No.
You didn't lose anything?
Nope.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'd still tell him you lost something to get a little money. I lost some chicken, it was whatever this.
Controlling narrative, man. Controlling narrative.
Exactly. Yeah. See? Hey, if this is the episode to talk about narrative, come on, man.
Yeah.
You got a generator though.
We did.
You got sick of it, and you were like, "I need a generator."
Well, we call. We've been checking in, you know, because they give updates on the NICEAG
updates,
phone lines and website. For the longest time, it was like, we don't know when it's going to be back on. We don't know when it's going to be back on. Finally, like last night around 6 o'clock, they're like, "Yeah, you should have power by Thursday at 3 p.m." We're like, "Okay, we're not doing this." So we're down at my sister's charging all of our devices.
Mm-hmm.
And my brother-in-law's like, "Oh, hey, you know, we got a generator." It's like, okay, show me how to use it. So we took that back. We got it all set up. This is about 8:30 at night. We get everything plugged in. I'm like,
did you have to fill it up yourself, too, or did it have gas in
it?
It
had gas.
Okay, good. You didn't have to go buy gas. Okay.
We get it all hooked up. We get a couple of the ACs running. I get the internet up and running in the house for the first time in like 24 hours. And I'm like, oh man, I got it all set up.
I remember you texted me. You're like, dude, I got a generator. I'm online. I'm like, oh shit, let me go into the office real quick. And then you were gone
text from Hunter. He's like, where are you? I saw you. Because I had just immediately shut everything off because the minute we started the generator, got everything set up, the power came back on.
Oh.
That's fucking great. They were like, yeah, you won't have power for 2 days. Oh, it's back on, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
That's always how it goes. Right before, right when you get everything set up, everything's perfect again.
It just needed a jump start. It needed a little life. You said
we had to hit it with the paddles.
And it came back. Yeah. What else? Anything else fun?
No,
Actually, wait. There was something else funny you told me about.
What?
During that time where you had no power, you apparently were a nature man.
I did mow the lawn.
Sure.
And it was nice out, so I decided to take the shirt off, and I got a little sunburned.
A little sunburn.
Yeah, I maybe I'll post a picture so the video people can see.
Looking like Larry the Lobster or something right
I'm
now.
pretty... Like, you won't be able to see it in this light. I actually have, tanned out pretty nice.
It's a base coat. Base coat.
Yeah.
Right
base coat,
That's what I was telling
yeah.
Hunter yesterday when he was like, you should put on suntan lotion. I was like... Gotta get a base
sunscreen,
coat.
not sunscreen.
I don't need that.
Gotta get a...
Yeah.
Got the base coat down.
I'm gonna be totally fine. This guy tells me, I was like, you need to put sunscreen on, blah blah. He's like, no, man, I gotta be ready for Florida. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, for our trip in Florida. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, I gotta look like what the fuck's name from what the hell's that show called again?
Tito from Rocket Power.
Tito from Rocket Power. He's like, hey, this way, brother. And I'm like, you can't do that. That's not okay. This guy wants to walk around the pool.
Just
just
talk about Uncle Tito from Rocket Power.
Yeah.
The Samoan.
Yeah,
the
Samoan.
Okay.
He's like, I need to get tanned, and I'm like, you can't.
You
No.
get that tan. I don't think you're joining the bloodline anytime soon, man.
Oh shit. So you got burned.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
It's fading out pretty quick.
Yeah.
Like I said, base coat. We're good.
I was gonna say we could talk about D&D, but we didn't play that again this week either.
D&D this week.
We haven't played 2 weeks in a row. I'm really upset.
Again with May. She's going to Colorado.
Don't say that. Or no, we played Starfinder last week, but we talked about that in last week's
talked
episode.
about
We did.
that on
We
last
did.
week's
Yeah.
episode, so.
But we didn't play regular D&D, our Monday game.
Right.
Yeah. Sad.
People in the chat begging for it.
I know they're begging for it. Yeah. And then you didn't get to play any ZZZ.
Nope.
No. Have you played Zenless Zone Zero yet?
You got a lot of time for mobile games.
Yeah.
That's the next question.
So mobile games, honestly, the only mobile game I've been consistently playing has been since 2016. It's been Pokemon Go.
Yeah. Okay, that's
the one
still
where,
fine.
like, just because, like, with me, I either get really into it or life gets busy and I am distracted and I only look at it for 2 weeks.
Yep.
So when it's like stuff like, hey, if you do a daily check-in or something like that, like,
Yep.
I'm not getting that stuff at all. Like, I'll be good for like 2 weeks, and then after that, I would be like, oh yeah, I have a phone.
Oh, that's a game you can leave alone though for a while. That's not something you have to be like on top of all the time. It's mostly, oh, I'm here. There's Pokemon. Let me catch a couple of these.
For the most part, yeah. Honestly, a lot of my stuff is just like, playing PlayStation or my laptop or whatever. I've been playing Power World a little bit lately, actually.
Power World?
Power
Yes.
World.
Did you end up? You never played it, did you, dude? Power World's great.
It's Pokemon with guns.
Oh, it's way better than that. Yeah, it's so
much
good.
fun. It's like it's like a Minecraft slash like crap,
Monster Tamer kind of thing. Yeah.
Like it's just survive. But
Yep.
the problem is like I keep struggling. Like everyone's like, oh, all you have to, like you can get the Pokemon or the pals.
Yeah. Gotta say
Sorry.
pals.
Sorry,
Trademark.
guys, you can get the pals pretty easy. All you got to do is breed them. I'm like, well, with how much I travel and how much I can actually play and actually connect to internet when I'm on the road.
Yep.
I haven't got to breed anything yet. Like, I'm not at a high enough level to do that. So everyone's like, oh, it's so easy when you get to that. I'm like 4 levels behind that.
Yeah.
You guys are saying how easy this is. Like, I'm on a grind. Just
It's easier
playing
if
2
you're
hours
in
at a
like
time.
it's easier if you're in a world with other people. Like you start a world where you're with a
yeah.
bunch of friends, because then they can do all that shit while you're gone. You can be like, oh, let me just take the fruits of your labor.
See, I wanted to do that too, but the problem was like I do it with every single game I play. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna create a quick account, play a little bit, get used to it, and then I'll
then
make
you
my
get
real
stuck
account.
on it.
And then like after like 20 hours of it, it's like I don't want to give up this account. Put 20 hours in this thing, man.
I can't stop. You come to my world. I'm not going to your world. We already started. Fuck. Power World's good. I like Power World a lot. That one's good. I don't know. What else did you do this week? Anything fun?
I started at Spirit Halloween.
Oh, you did this week?
Seasonal.
Oh, sweet. Which one?
When's it opening?
We're doing setup next week, Tuesday and Thursday, so it's got to be close.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I literally walked in today. The DM was there. I was like, "Hey, I put my application in." She's like, "When can you start?"
You went there before you came here?
Yeah,
Oh, wait, which one?
the one right over by McDonald's.
Oh, where like the Party City or the
yeah,
Planet
that
Fitness
little
used to be,
plaza
right?
over there,
Yeah. Well, fun for you. You've been doing
Congrats,
that like
man,
every year,
congrats.
the last couple of years, haven't you?
Yep,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
good. It's fun.
A little
It's
extra money. It's
actual
not
fun
bad.
place to work.
An actual fun place to work. Ooh. I don't know how that is. Just kidding. Yes, I do. I love my new job.
Oh, why don't you tell us about it?
Oh, it's my turn now? Oh.
Hell of a segue right there.
I know,
Hell of a
right?
segue.
So my job, I've been having a lot of fun because it's all work from home, so that's great. I don't have to leave the house or anything like that. But one fun thing was actually today. I had a meeting before we came here today with a client, and so all right, without using names, client person has had an agreement, or we've been trying to get an agreement with them for a little while now. And every meeting has been like, oh my God, I love this. Sounds great. Let's talk again. Oh my God, that's great. Let's talk again. We finally get today where we're sending them the agreement and we're going through everything. Everything had been like, oh yeah, I love it, love it, love it. So what about this number here? That's kind of too, I mean, do you really need that much time to work on things? Because we charge them for like a maintenance like per month thing. And he's like, that's too many hours. I don't know if you can, do you need that much? So we basically spent like an hour and a half telling him how important the maintenance is and what we need to be able to do to accomplish stuff. And it was great though, because at the end of it, he just goes, you know what? You're right. Sounds good. Send it over. I'll sign. And I was like, oh, wonderful. It's like, we don't have to do anything else.
Yep. Now that you laid it out for him, he's like, you know what? This makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
I like it.
It was great, but it was really like a roller coaster during the entire time. I was like, oh, great. This guy's going to say no. We're going to walk out of this all sad. But no, it was great. It was great. I got to do the meeting in my underwear and I just put on like a collared shirt. It was great, man. They don't see below the desk. You know what I'm saying? It was great. But another thing I found out this morning while I was taking my morning constitutional, scrolling through my phone. Have you guys heard of the official Xbox Cheeky controller that's coming out?
Nope.
No? Cheeky, like cheeks, like butt cheeks. Oh, no. Yeah. It's called the Cheeky controller. It's real. I promise you. It is a Xbox and Deadpool crossover.
Okay, I'm
it's
bored again. You had me lost and I'm back in.
It's a Deadpool controller, and from the front, it looks fucking dope. It's like carbon fiber, like red type stuff. It's got a symbol at the bottom. All the buttons look really good, from the front a little bit though, it looks a little big. You're like, that's kind of weird. You flip it and it's his ass on the back. And you pop it off. Dude, it's crazy. They're calling it the official Cheeky controller. But they just announced it, I think, like a day or two ago. And first they're starting with like a sweepstakes to be able to win like some limited edition ones. And then I think they'll be in stores like later this year.
I've not seen that yet.
Yeah, awesome. Dude, it was funny. I just saw it this morning. It was like a 15-second little ad thing. And I was like, holy shit.
You know, I did just get a 3D printer. I might have to like look into
make some Deadpool asses. There you go. I think literally what they did is they just replaced like how you take the batteries out.
Yeah, and
and then they just put that on there. That's probably all it is. But it looks great, honestly. Like I would probably use that controller. It looks very, very nice and comfortable.
For, healing factor, killing guys, and having a nice ass.
There you go. Also, Deadpool and Wolverine's about to come out, right? Or did it come out?
Soonish.
Coming out the 26th, I think.
Yep.
26. Ooh.
25th or 26th. Something
Should
like
be
that.
good, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it because I'm praying this is going to be the thing that like saves the MCU because I'm a big comic fan, a big Marvel fan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I like DC Comics more than Marvel Comics, but we'll get into that later.
It's definitely been a rough stretch.
Honestly, after the Marvels with Captain Marvel and everything, I was just like, this is going downhill fast right now. Like,
I think we need more like R-rated Deadpool stuff.
Oh, exactly.
Like R-rated MCU would be great. Like people love it. They want to see it. Like why
Here's
not?
The thing is like, no matter what superhero movie you do, kids are gonna watch it no matter what.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna have that crowd, but you gotta have it so it's like tangible for an older audience and like actual like context behind it. Like you're seeing all these Disney movies now too that even kids are like, hey,
this is dumb.
This is horrible.
I didn't watch it, but I remember I was seeing clips of this like Wish movie that came out, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh,
like, PowerPoint. More
yes.
than, like,
It's so dumb.
Stuff, and I'm like, I had like Lion King and like
Yes,
Yeah.
dude. Disney is known for like their like spontaneous
top,
like music, like numbers and shit with choreography. And it's like for that movie, they were just like, nah, do one of those word music videos. What the fuck? What? Are you serious?
I still don't even know what I heard it's like a prequel to like All Storytell.
Something like that. I don't. That's the thing. I didn't even care enough to want to watch.
Exactly,
When the
like-
trailer came out, that it was just like that was the music. I was like, "Are you fucking serious?
I
No,
didn't
I'm
know it
not
came out.
watching
I was
this."
watching it like I saw on TikTok when it was already like out on like
Yeah.
Disney Plus or whatever.
Yeah.
Like people like showing clips, and I'm like, is this like an action movie or is this like
It's just like a commercial.
music video for it? Like I haven't seen any ads for this thing.
Yeah, during movie bullcrap. Yeah, it's horrible. But you're right. Like, there's just a lot of movies that just sort of like they just don't care about. Like, we need new stuff. They bought, you know, Fox or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Start making some movies that are crazily good. Like, start expanding the repertoire.
Yeah.
And you know,
Well, the problem too is like everyone tries to just reinvent what's already worked in the past. Like, how many '80s movies have we had rebooted? Like, how many original movies that turn into franchises do we get nowadays? Barely any. But you know, you had Rocky, you had Rambo, you had like all these other like iconic figures.
Yeah.
What iconic figures have we had? Like horror movies in the '80s, we had all of them. Now
Yeah.
the newest one we've had is Terrifier, and
I don't even know what that is.
oh, you don't know what Terrifier is?
Hunter's not a horror guy.
I'm not a horror guy. I don't love horror movies or anything. I mean, you know, there's some thrillers and stuff,
Well,
but
Terrifier 1, there's one scene that you're just like, okay, this is a lot for like I'm a horror
Yeah.
movie guy and like I'll watch like
Me
the
too.
horror
I
stuff,
was
but, like,
watching and I was like,
you
I don't
know
know if I
the-
want to finish this.
You know the scene I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Like just it's a magic trick, but he did it in a different way.
Yeah.
Like
oh my god.
oh god, it's bad. It's so bad. But like that's
But
like
yeah, that
the most common like,
John Wick.
Oh,
John
yeah,
Wick-
John
yeah.
Wick's. Yeah, John Wick's.
But
a
there's
newer
not
one.
Yeah.
for every one of those.
And that's
There's like
that's like early 2000s right
Yeah.
there too. Like you had Wolverine, like okay, yeah, we have this iconic character
Yeah.
that obviously comes from the comics, and I mean, Hugh Jackman I have to see as a different Wolverine than the
Yeah.
comics because like he's just Wolverine in his own right. Like
Yeah.
that's like you okay?
There had to be one spill.
Oh man, I didn't know he was choking up over Wolverine last month.
I know, right? Dude, you should have seen when we went and saw Logan. Psh, man.
Oh, don't get me started. I watched it with my dad, and my dad caught me like having a tear in my eye a little bit towards the end. He's like, "Are you being a pussy right now?" I was like, "God damn it."
How dare you cry at this movie? And he's just fucking
Mind you,
bawling.
it's like a father figure, like sacrificing himself.
Yeah.
My dad's just like, "Why are you crying, bitch?" Like, okay, thanks, Dad. It's kind of
Oh my
grew up with this
god.
character. That's all.
Yeah. It's always the father figure stuff. Like when we went and saw Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Oh my god,
yeah, dude.
bawled our eyes out. Holy shit.
That was an MCU death I was not expecting to
Yeah.
care so much. I mean, it's the only MCU death essentially, but
Yeah.
well, it was at that time.
Yeah.
Everyone else is like, "Oh yeah, he's dead." No, wait a couple movies, he's back.
Yeah.
Yondu's like the first like official like, "Oh, he's dead," and
Yeah.
he's a recurring character. He was a bad guy in the movie before.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what, James Gunn, he made me care about a guy that
Yeah.
I hated last movie, and now like, oh, okay, I'm
Yeah.
an emotional wreck, and I'm not gonna be able to get out of the house for 2 weeks now.
Gotta love the redemption arc,
which
man.
is it's exciting to see what Gunn's gonna do with DC. So
Dude, I hope he's.
Oh right, yeah, because
Yeah.
he's
Like,
doing
again, DC
yeah.
comic guy. Like me personally, I always like the comics of DC a little better because I feel like they're more engageful stories. My own personal preference. I'm not saying anyone's wrong, but DC just has dropped the ball so many times on like all these amazing stories and like trying to fit a part of that story in, or do 8
yeah,
of the same
instead of just
stories.
adapting the whole thing, it's like, well, we'll take this and this and this and this, and we'll try to stuff it all into 1 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
And
Well, like DC animated does amazing work on
oh,
it.
their
Yes.
animated
Yeah.
stuff is great.
Oh yeah.
The only animated movie I have a gripe with. Okay, actually, technically this too, but one is like, okay, so the one that I'm not that mad at is The Killing Joke.
Yep.
And obviously, just because of what they did with the whole Batgirl thing, and they only did that to pad the thing, but you can tell like just the styles, like the vocabulary and how people talk and everything.
Yep.
Like, okay, this is completely written by someone else in the first half, and then second half is word for word verbatim.
Yep.
And that was perfect though. Like when it came to like the actual comic, loved it.
Yeah.
But the other movie that I can't forgive because they did the twist just for the twist's sake, and it's Hush.
Mm-hmm.
With what, like, have you watched it?
I don't think so. No.
The twist in the comic, I mean, you can kind of see it coming from a mile away, but that's kind of the point because you know who the character really is, especially if you knew beforehand. But in the show, in the animated movie, they kind of, hey, we're gonna twist everybody's mind with the reveal that no one wanted. And we're gonna change this one character up 100% and not even like develop the fan favorite character of the thing. Like,
Yep.
Not trying to give anything too much away, but that was a little disappointing because that's one of my favorite Batman comics. That was the first comic I bought.
Yeah.
Full graphic novel. That's the first one I bought.
Yeah.
Damn. Nice. Yeah, man. I don't know. Yeah, because I've always said that DC comic and animation wise, phenomenal. Absolutely great. Like, hands down. And then whereas Marvel movies were always like, these are amazing. These are super good. I never really liked a DC movie. I mean, some of them, but like most of them, not great.
It's the exception.
Yeah. But it does feel like things are sort of spinning. Like they're going the other direction where Marvel's now going to start being like the bad one at it. And DC hopefully will be the good one at it. There's also the new, I didn't start watching it yet. I don't know if you guys have yet, but the new Suicide Squad Isekai show.
That looks fun.
Yeah, I haven't started it yet. So they made a so HBO has made an anime about Suicide Squad.
Oh, really?
But they get isekai'd into a different world. Is it they get isekai'd into an anime world or just isekai'd into a different place?
It's like a medieval world.
Oh, they get isekai'd into a medieval world.
Okay, I gotta check that out.
Yeah. But apparently it's supposed to be really good.
The studio is Spy Family.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. You ever watch Spy Family?
I've been seeing stuff about it, but I haven't seen it yet. What is it on? That's what I really want to know.
Crunchyroll and Hulu. You can watch on either of those right now.
Two things I don't have right now.
Damn, this guy's got to get some stuff, man. Actually, is it on? Did they move it to Netflix now too? No.
It's on Netflix, but
I think it's probably only Hulu and Crunchyroll.
The one thing I've been watching lately has been The Boys.
Yeah.
I finally caught up in both those ones right now.
I just started it not too long ago.
Invincible or The Boys?
The Boys.
The Boys?
The Boys, yeah. I haven't started The Invincible yet.
I mean, the one thing they have in common, besides, being both on Max, Prime.
Yep.
Yeah, Prime.
Yeah.
Whoops, sorry.
Oh, how dare you?
The one thing
No, our
common is
Amazon
that-
sponsorship.
Oh, no.
Sorry, Bezos. But the thing they have in common is the first episode it hooks you just by the pure shock value of what you're not expecting, like that one moment. Like for The Boys, the one. Like,
oh yeah, I mean it's like you're watching the show and it's like, oh, it's cool, and then all of a sudden she just gets blown away, and it's just.
Yeah, I remember I was.
What the
fuck?
Yeah. I was just like, oh, this is like a superhero thing. Oh, is this like the DC thing? I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I'll click this, see what it is. Like, okay, this is a fun episode. Like, okay, getting some backstory. What the fuck?
The hell just happened? Yeah, that show's
just-
crazy.
That just set the tone. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear.
No, you're good. You can say whatever the fuck you want on this fucking show.
Hey, TJ Epixx for the kids, man.
Yeah, oh, damn, you're right. This fucking guy's for the fucking kids.
That being said, a kid called me a pussy last show we had.
Wow.
Like a 9-year-old. Like, just in the front row. I see her look at her dad. He nods at her. She looks back at me and goes, "You're a pussy." I was like,
She had to look for approval.
yeah, she
got and then went
but the
and
fact
said
that he gave her the approval, and like he didn't say like
She looked at your dad.
he cried. Get him.
fine. I wasn't a kid. My dad was just calling me a pussy from the crowd. Sorry.
I just didn't want you guys to know. That's funny as shit.
But what made me laugh though was like, I mean, sorry for the audio viewers, but the dad was like there with his arms crossed and just stone faced, doesn't look entertained by the show at all. Just going. She looks up at him and he just looks. And
Give it to him.
Like just a quick little subtle nod, and she got so excited. I was just like, why? Race her better, please. I mean, I know I'm the bad guy, but like, it doesn't mean I'm a bad guy.
Just because you're a bad guy doesn't mean you're a bad guy.
Exactly. I love Wreck-It Ralph.
So actually, it's a good segue. TJ, tell the people who you are and what you do.
All right, so I'm TJ Epixx, and I am a professional wrestler, and I've been doing this for almost 5 years now. And yep, just been traveling up and down the coast, kind of go across country a little bit, and hit up Canada a few times now.
Very cool. I will say, I remember about 5-ish years ago when I remember seeing your like profile on Facebook and Instagram and stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's, and then it changed. And I go, wait a minute, is this the same person? Hold on a second. Who is TJ? What is it? What? And then, and yeah, man, I feel like I've been watching your career since you started, and it was really cool. At first, I was like, oh man, that's pretty cool. I wonder how big the scene really is here. And then, just in the last like 2 or 3 years, man, I was like, God damn, this guy's doing pretty good.
Thanks, man.
Very happy for him. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we so when I first got into this, like, I just got out of college, and wrestling was something I've loved ever since I was like 6 years old. Like, you probably remember. Like, sorry, I met this guy in elementary school back in the day. Like, I was obsessed with wrestling, and you probably saw it to the point like I was writing Undertaker as my name for my homework and stuff. But what was I saying? Sorry.
You were talking about how cool I was in elementary school. That's what I heard.
Oh yeah, definitely. What's funny is I was just thinking about this on the way up. I do remember in elementary school we did mock interviews during like lunch and stuff. When me and you sat next to each other. I don't know why that was like a random thought that hasn't.
You
like,
really want to do interview shows?
I guess so. Like I was just thinking about it. I was like, it's cool gonna do stuff.
I just like talking to people, man. I'm trying to look for my passion in this world.
Yeah, man. I was just like, I was thinking about that. I'm like, this is kind of cool. Like here we are. I mean, oh my gosh.
Many moons.
19 years later, I think.
So many moons. No, but
so
you're right.
You're primarily with Excite, or
So
do you do other shows?
Yeah,
or?
so I do a lot of extra, like other shows. Excite, we've actually amped up how many shows that we have been doing. We actually do shows all through Binghamton, Vestal, here, obviously. We try to get at least once a month here. Right now, we're just so busy doing all these extra shows that our next big show isn't going to be until September at the Arnott Mall. However, we also have a school with Excite that's here at the Arnott Mall, and those students are training, and we're doing student shows known as Project X. So you're going to be seeing, it's cheaper tickets. It's not like, you're not going to see like the full storylines that you see in our bigger shows happening. It's more like getting experience for the newer guys, let them do that. And you guys are going to see some really good talent when they're in their early development right there. So it's going to be cool seeing like, some guys that are like, oh yeah, you can tell he's a little new, little nervous in there. And then like, 2 years later, you're like, oh wow, this guy's, he's got it now.
Yeah.
And it's just cool. Like just a little bit I've seen for like students that started day one to, where they're at now. I'm like, okay, you guys are picking this up. Like it's awesome when you see everything kind of clicking together. But yeah, I work with Excite very heavily just because it's my local area. But we also work for PPW. We're tag champions up at ESW up in Buffalo. I've gone down to New Jersey plenty of times. I've been to Connecticut, Massachusetts, been to Canada a few times, Florida, West Virginia. Like, sorry, I'm not going to list every place. But,
but hold on, I'm writing this all down.
That's the one thing I've loved out of this. Like the thing I didn't know I would have loved so much was that how much I traveled. Because growing up, I didn't leave this area too much. Like I was born down in Tennessee. Then when we came up here, we never really left. And to be honest, like when I went to college, I went to Alfred State, and I thought that was forever away.
Yeah,
like 45 minutes. Oh man,
I'm so far.
Now it's like, oh, the show's 3.5 hours away. Oh, cool, it's a local show.
Oh, it's local. Okay, yeah.
Because like when I first started, it was like I would have to travel an hour to get to Excite to train. Then I would travel 2 hours to Rochester to train up there twice a week, and that's how like that was my regiment. So like, like over 10 hours.
It's a good amount of travel.
10 hours of driving just for the traveling part, not even what you're doing for wrestling at the training. But yeah, mainly Excite, but I'm always trying to get out there and get to bigger promotions as well.
Very cool. Nice. Yeah, I have a question because he's the expert, but I'm gonna get my couple of shots in So, did you start, and I might be saying all the terminology incorrect. I asked for a guide the other night, and I tried to read it. I did. I read it. I did. There's a lot on there. I'm trying to remember as much as I can. I don't know all the terminology, but basically, did you start as a good guy, became a bad guy? Or are you a bad guy, or are you...
Face and heel.
Face and heel. I knew that. I knew that. I thought I was going to say baby face, but I thought that was only for new guys.
Face and heel, I mean, I act how I act. Like, it's always going to be me dialed up to whatever role I have to play that day. I will lean heavier into that, but I'm still me.
Okay.
It makes sense. And it varies. Like, Excite, fans hate me there now. Cause,
damn.
Well,
you get a lot of heat.
This guy. But, like, my trainer, H.C. Loke, he was teaming with us for a few matches and stuff, and we were losing, and me and my tag partner had a conversation, like, if it happens again, we got to figure something new out, and we kind of kicked his head in after our last match that we had with him, and people don't like us for it.
Okay.
And then he came back and interfered with us trying to win our tag titles, and did it illegally, I want to point out. But
okay. Is that's called a shoot? A work shoot? I'm getting them wrong, aren't I? I'm trying. I'm trying.
Yeah, there's shoots and works. I mean, I don't really like going into all that stuff because, like, you know, a lot of the time you're also not going to know. And then, like, I find it funny. Like, even WWE, you're going to be like, oh, it's a work. Oh, no, it's a shoot. And you see people arguing, and you're like, I don't care. I'm entertained, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, as long as it's real, like, as long as it's presented as real, it's real to me, damn it.
There you go.
It's real to me,
there it is.
That's the thing. Like, the guys who, you know, the most famous shoots you never even knew were shoots until years later when those guys were doing, like, documentaries.
And now everyone's giving everything away. Like, you know, as soon as they walk through the curtain, and like, you know, there'll be a blood feud that happens for like a whole year. And then as soon as they walk the curtain, and like, yeah, so we just had a really amazing match, and I love him. I love his work. And I'm like, dude.
Out there, they're like, they go behind the match. You know, it's fine. We just had a good time, you know.
Like, I just find it funny. Like, I see some interviews, and like, it looks like you know, when you see like a grizzled like action movie superstar, and then he does an interview, and it's like a nice proper British accent, wearing a nice thing and glasses. You're just like, like that's how I'm kind of seeing some of these interviews now. I'm like, hey, okay, you're not. So is this you or is that you? I don't know what's going on anymore.
What am I looking at? What's real?
Like if I'm trained by HC Loke, and kayfabe is still real to me. Damn it! Like I'm gonna like even though it's dead.
Did you see that?
Yeah,
kayfabe. Yes, I heard it. I can't remember what it is, but I know it's important.
Like even though it's dead, it doesn't mean we have to piss on this grave.
Yeah.
So like, I'm gonna just go with the flow on things and do my job the best I can, and I'm not gonna go around and be like, oh well, actually, when I did this, like, no, like, did we tell the story? Did you enjoy it as a fan? I did my job. You don't need to know anymore right now.
Yeah.
Damn. There you go. You don't need the damn secrets. Just enjoy yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of times, like, I'll see interviews and I'm like, I wish I didn't know that actually. Like, I kind of like because again, sometimes the legend's better than the truth, and you kind of lose that little bit of aura and awe to it. Like I remember, like before, like Undertaker, like I love Undertaker to death, and I love that I do these interviews because they're so entertaining, and I've been wanting it for years. Yeah. But at the same time, part of his like aura when he was still wrestling was that he didn't do interviews, he didn't talk, or if he did it was like in character and it was very like sparingly when he did it. So like you always kind of like, oh yeah, he's this guy, but like you don't know much about him, and like what you know what I mean. It
almost feels like two different people, honestly. Like you see Mark Calloway doing interviews
when he's doing his podcast now and stuff, like which I really love his podcast. And it's funny, like I just saw the one that him and Godfather did.
Yeah, man, that was great. There were so many good bits in that.
Oh my gosh, I met Godfather a few times.
I
smoked with Godfather once, and I smoked with Rob Van Dam.
Nice.
And that was at Mania too, and that was like, okay, that's I can't miss out on this opportunity. Right now.
That's cool.
But
very cool.
Other than that, though, I usually try to stay like clean. But
Have you ever gotten like really hurt?
Yeah. So I mean, I sprained my foot. I actually have 3 herniated disc in my neck right now. It's better now, but like before, I used to have like swelling and everything, and my arm was numb for probably like 6 months. Like just kind of tingliness, and then when I hit it just right, it would hurt. That one was from I did a dive and didn't hit anybody, and it was concrete, and worst part was I had to get up and do something else right after. So like, and then the worst part of it was I had to drive. It was actually up in this area, the show was, and then I had to drive to Tennessee right after. So I was like 16 hours in the car, and my back and neck are just
like, I'm dead. This is it. This is the end.
I don't want to move right now. It hurts.
They'd scrape you out of the car when you got there, I'm sure.
And then,
man.
But like nothing like too serious, like where I have been out for like months and months. Like I've had that, which knock on wood, I don't know.
Where's the wood in here?
But there's another thing that I'm trying to remember what it was right now, just because I remember it like really kind of sucked for a second. It was see, I have too many injuries that I can't.
It was probably
all the time.
It was probably a concussion.
Yeah, I had.
He goes, "Oh, wait a minute."
I had a couple concussions here and there. There's, I do remember one time I was actually at the. We were at the First Arena, and we did a show for it was like the Hart Foundation Legacy thing.
Okay, yeah.
It was like Bret Hart's ex's sister or something was running promotion under that they had Teddy Hart be the guy there, which I also didn't know much about Teddy Hart until I saw the documentary a few months after this. So I was like, oh, that was. But when I was there, I hurt my hip really, really badly. Like I felt it pop and then kind of rolled back in when I rolled. Oof. And then the worst part was I had to drive my trainer to a show the next day. And we get there and he introduces me to the promoter and I'm like, nice to meet you, sir. Be respectful and everything. He's like, hey, so we had someone drop out. It was actually Davey Richards of all people. And like, so we need a replacement. Are you cool? Like, how are you feeling right now? Because he told me how I was injured. And I was like, if you need me to work, I can work. Like, you know, like it kind of sucks, but like, you
need me to, I can do it.
Like I'm more so like I'm gonna give you the right answer. Like I can do it, but I probably shouldn't be doing it. But I'm also thinking this is a test. This is the first time I'm meeting the guy. And then he's like, okay, cool. So you got 2 matches today. And I'm like, how funny. And he's just like, oh no, you're going to be in the pre-show with this guy and team with him. And then that's going to give you the #1 contendership to do the championship later in the night. And I was like, oh, you're being real. Yeah, I can do that. And I'm still stupid. Even with my hip being all messed up and everything, I still did like a coast to coast in it. And like, because I'm like,
geez,
I got to show out even though I'm hurt. Right now.
Yep. Damn. That's gotta hurt, man. That's a lot.
How? It's something that a lot of the guys in the industry deal with. Like
hip
so
stuff.
many people have to have their hips replaced. And
do you guys go through any safety training? It feels like you might need some.
Well, safety training is just training, which unfortunately there's a lot of guys in the business that think they're trained or think they don't need training. Like there's guys that gloat that they've been self-trained, and I'm like when it's guys that are in and like they've learned it like for years, then that's one thing. But when it's like, oh, I'm a year in, I'm self-trained. Yeah, we're not gonna step foot in the ring together because life's online.
No idea what you've been through.
You're not picking me up because you don't know how to not break my neck right now. I can't trust that.
Oh, another wrestling question. Here we go.
Ooh, here we go.
I don't know if I'm saying this right, but what kind of are you a flyer, a technical or brawler? Yes. See, I knew them. I know what they are. I just can't remember the names.
You know, I'm a powerhouse. You know, I just lift like 3 guys at a time and throw them all out of the ring.
All right.
I'm mainly high flying. I like to think I'm kind of like a hybrid of technical high flying and brawling. Like for me, it always depends on the story. People associate me more as a high flyer. One, because I know I'm smaller. I'm only 5'10", and also you do one backflip and everyone thinks you're the flippy guy now.
That guy does flips.
You do mostly tag work too, it sounds like.
So it honestly just kind of varies throughout the year and stuff. Like I do a lot of singles work up in Rochester, and I do a lot of singles work down in New Jersey. But a lot of the stuff we've been doing lately is tag work, and even as like a tag team, we will have singles matches, but be like, hey, one half of CXR or something like that. There's a few places I do pure like TJ Epixx singles stuff, but everywhere else is kind of associated with CXR. Even if it's not a tag team match that day, it's Chael Connors is going against like Chael Connors one half of CXR is going against this guy, or TJ Epixx one half of CXR is going against that guy, and like, you know, we'll come out with for each other's matches or something like that depending on the stories. But for me, it's more story is the most important thing. So if we're in a blood feud, I'm gonna be more of a brawler. If it's my first time and I'm the babyface and I'm trying to get that energy for the crowd, I'm gonna do more high flying. And if it depends on my kind of opponent, I can get technical because I come from an amateur background style, which I really do love chain wrestling and stuff like that. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. I just like having that in my arsenal.
Yeah.
Hey, Ruttle, what are those meat sacks wearing?
Clothes, road trip.
No slag, dipstick. I mean, what's on the clothes?
Looks like Capsicum merch.
Yeah, merch?
Yeah, you, me, Quick Cut, and X-Wing.
So, humans can get t-shirts with us on them?
Yeah, that Joey guy from OlderNDumber made it.
Right off the OlderNDumber merch store?
Yeah, bot. It's as easy as that.
We, getting a cut of that? Energon ain't free, you know.
No.
That's a bad deal, and you're a bad leader for making it.
going to take this unique opportunity of having a pro wrestler on the podcast to talk a little.
We should
pro
do that
wrestling.
more often. We should take the unique opportunity, but we don't a lot of times.
I mean, you only got a wrestling school, you know.
Yeah,
200 yards that way.
Yeah,
yeah. So I want to talk a little bit and just sort of get your thoughts on my thoughts on wrestling, essentially.
Your thoughts on his thoughts.
And I left Hunter in the dark in this so that
Big
he can.
time.
You know,
He
we
said,
can get
"Look
his
up these
reactions.
fights." I said, "Okay," and I watched them, and I was like, "These were cool."
Yep. Wait,
Um,
I'll ask you what they are later, but
Yeah.
So I compiled some lists, and I want to see if you agree with my placements.
Okay.
So these are all golden age to modern.
Okay.
Let's start off with best finishers.
I looked up a bunch of those before coming today.
And I rated these on explosiveness, devastation, style, and sellability.
All right.
And we'll go in descending order. So
Best to worst?
worst to best.
Worst to best.
okay.
Okay.
Best of the worst to the best of the best.
There's a lot of words flying around right now, and I'm doing the
Don't
math
worry about
meme. And I don't know.
So the first one that I put on this list, and I think it makes for a really exciting finisher. It's very photogenic. It's big. It's the flying elbow drop, made famous by Randy Savage's flying elbow drops.
Oh, that's where you jump from the top rope, elbow coming out, bop.
Yep.
No,
Big flying
yeah,
elbow.
yeah, okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
See, yeah, I know.
He got the flying elbow drop.
I got it. Wow. No, yeah, that's dope one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's an iconic one. That's the one that inspired many right there. Like, Bailey, CM Punk, they both do tributes to Macho Man because of it. Like, and I think it's Io Sky that also does the, like, she does the elbow finisher, right?
Yep.
Okay, I want to make sure I wasn't mixing her up. But yeah, she, her elbow looks devastating. Like, I think she has the best elbow in the game right now.
Damn.
I don't know how she does it. Like, she's able to, like, swing her arm and, like, make it look like she's throwing her elbow down while kicking her leg. Like, she almost lands on her head half the time.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
She, like, is able to, like, throw her body back when she's already up in the air and gets down faster. It's
very cool.
Add that extra rotation to it.
Yeah.
It looks impactful. I love it. I love the way she does it.
And that's the thing. And it's relatively, as opposed to something like the diving headbutt, I think the elbow is a little bit more controlled. So it's a little safer, but it doesn't lose any of its effect.
Exactly.
I feel like the elbow is going to hurt a lot more than a head, but I feel like.
I know two guys that actually hit their heads that one can't wrestle anymore because of it.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Like, the main reason for no flying headbutt is it's a flying headbutt.
Bad. It's probably going to get hurt.
Your brains aren't going to be right.
You see so many guys that are just like, and it's one of the ones too, to like sell it properly, you almost have to hit it. And then even if you don't knock yourself out, act like you've knocked yourself out.
Oh, dude. One of my first matches ever, it was like a tag team scramble match, and me and my tag partner were doing a double cover, and the guy was going to break the pin up, and just by doing a diving headbutt on all of us, he got, I don't know how he landed. Like, I was not able to see this, but the way he landed was he hit the guy that we were pinning with his head, and that guy's eye cracked right here. Later that night, he sneezed and.
Talk about horror movie.
Yeah. For those who aren't watching this, his eye popped out. It was pretty gross. Don't mean to get too graphic, but like I'm not the biggest fan of the flying headbutt for that reason. Just seeing it live, I was like, don't want to do this.
If you want to watch a wrestler have his eye pop out live, you can see Vader do it, and he just pops it back in and keeps going.
Oh my gosh. The flying elbow, though, huh?
Yeah.
Number
was
4.
That? Oh, never mind. Okay.
Well,
I was gonna. Rey Mysterio is the flyer, right? He's a flyer. Did he do elbows? What was his?
No, he's more of a flippy guy.
His whole body he would use, mainly because he had to, like,
because he's a short guy, right?
Dude,
Rey Mysterio's like 5'4".
Oh wow, that's shorter than me.
Too. He's like 198
here's the thing.
or something. When
if you see Macho Man doing an elbow, that's 240 pounds of man coming down and giving you an elbow.
Oh yeah,
Rey Mysterio only giving an elbow, that's 165 pounds, like 180
nothing.
depending where he was and everything. That's not much coming down by comparison. So him doing a splash makes a lot more sense because he's throwing every bit of force he has, and that's part of that storytelling too. Like he's smaller, but he's using his size to his advantage by the arsenal that he's able to use.
Yeah,
very cool. Okay, okay. What's next?
All right, number 4. I had the super kick, specifically Shawn Michaels' Sweet Chin Music. The best super kick.
Is that the jump up and hit him with both your feet?
No, that's a drop kick.
It's the standing.
It's a side
kick to the chin.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, tuning up the band.
Yes, okay, yeah. I was watching finishers before we got here, and I saw one where someone was like running at him, and before he got to him, pop, and he just got him right in the throat.
That was a great thing.
You're probably thinking of the Claymore though.
Yeah.
If you're thinking of finishers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, was it a really big hairy dude with long black hair?
It seemed like he had long hair. Had to be. Yeah.
McIntyre.
Okay.
I think the great thing about Shawn is he could throw that out of nowhere.
Oh, that's what I loved about it. I tried making the super kick my finish.
Yeah.
The problem was in the indies, especially on shows, like it's the hardest thing to protect because I mean, me and my tag partner, we throw super kicks in all of our matches, but that's kind of like we do that to try to set other things up now.
Yep.
I mean, we're not the Young Bucks throwing, 75 super kicks in one match
Right.
and then, kicking out at one.
Yeah.
But, which that's a different style, and I like that.
That's
style
what
too,
happened
but...
to Bret Hart, right? Goldberg caught him with a super kick.
He caught him with a super kick off the ropes. Yeah, and I'm not sure if you know this. Brett's a little bitter about it still.
Yeah.
Well, he probably doesn't know this, but I think almost every interview Brett has done since WCW is him shitting on Goldberg for ruining his career.
Yeah.
Because, that's not even, the only thing that happened in that match. Do you remember the other thing that concussed him originally? And then that was, the cherry on top that, blasted him out of, out of nowhere.
Did he botch a jackhammer on him?
No. No, that was Taker.
Yeah. I knew there was a botched jackhammer in there at least once.
Yeah, no, that was with Undertaker when they went to Saudi. But, no, this was, so what it was that, remember how Brett used to do the figure 4 around the posts?
Yeah.
His thing with it was that he would put one leg up, and when the guy grabbed his foot, he would know that he could fall down to do hang upside down. Goldberg, when he was selling, touched his foot, so Brett jumped, and then he let go, and Brett smacked his head on the concrete.
Yeah.
And then later in the match, he took the super kick right to the temple, on the run too, which it's already hard to gauge a super kick if someone's running at you full speed.
Yeah.
And Goldberg wasn't the most technically sound with his strikes or something like that. He was just violence in a tiny bottle, and he let it open for a second, and then close it back up. Yeah. If you did it past that, you kind of saw William Regal showed us what happened.
Yep.
Damn.
But yeah, that's why I think Shawn was so good with it. It's he always sold it. He always hit it exactly. It came out of nowhere every time.
Yep. Just the betrayals out of it, the out of nowhereness.
Yep.
Just the selling out of it as well.
Yep.
I mean, he's been able to tell stories with that move so easily.
Yeah.
I remember one time I saw him lose a match or have a match drawn because when he did the super kick and did his fall down dead cell over it, his shoulders hit the mat, and when he landed on the guy's arm popped up and landed on top of his leg. So technically they were pinning each other. And that started another storyline right there. I love stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Shawn's super kick, amazing. I can't even tell you how many compilations I've seen of off the top rope super kick, springboard super kick, turn in the corner, super kick. And then the best promo of all time is
the barbershop.
No, I wasn't gonna say that. That's the best interview.
Yeah.
Best turn interview.
Yeah.
The best promo of all time is what's your name? Stan. This is Stan. I just kicked Stan. And then he starts kicking people down the hallway and stuff. It's the greatest promo of all time. If you haven't seen it, you gotta see it. It's it made me a huge Shawn Michaels fan when I was a kid. It's the best thing ever. And it was actually Shawn Spears that he did it to.
Oh my gosh.
Shawn Spears is when he was just doing extra work at the time.
That's funny.
That's awesome. What's next?
Number 3.
Here we go.
The pedigree.
What's that?
Triple H.
Triple H's
finisher. Okay.
It's like when you kick the guy in the gut, put him between your legs like a powerbomb style.
Okay.
You're about to lift him up.
Yeah.
But instead of picking him up for a powerbomb, you hook his arms behind his back, jump up, and make him
and then slam down. Yeah. Okay. I know that one. See, I can see that one in my head.
Looks super devastating.
That one looks like it hurts.
It's one of the most projected finishes of all time, and also not a lot of people would do it. And then even the people I see doing the indies,
scary.
Even the people I see doing the indies, they don't do it like Triple H did. The way Triple H jumped with it and stuff,
drove him
nowadays,
down.
it looks like it kind of like it looks like a tumble a lot of the time. Like Triple H had it so it was like up in the air, high impact, awesome. If you didn't like it, he kind of held the arms back a little bit more.
Oh my gosh!
Always right in the middle of the ring, super photogenic. Like,
no, I can remember that one.
But
That's
also
a really good one.
As devastating as it was, I feel like it's one of the safer finishers to get hit with because it's all Triple H taking it to his knees.
Yep. Like it's the guy taking a face bump. I mean, again, like I said, depends on how he held your arms. And that was either if he liked you or not, or it was like, hey, for the story that we've been telling, like we're gonna lay it in a little heavier right now. But you'll see sometimes where he kind of releases and places the guy down, and then you see other times where he's just hooking the whole time and
just hold them the whole Yep.
And then there's when he first started doing it, the guy thought he was taking a Tiger Driver. Do you remember that clip?
No.
It's like it's called the pedigree because he was the Frenchman when he started.
Yeah.
And
Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Hunter Hearst Helmsley. That's why it's Triple H.
Okay.
But he gave it to a guy, and the guy thought he was taking the Tiger Driver, which is what Ospreay does, where you have it hooked like that, but you pick them up and you bring them down more on their shoulders.
Okay.
So when the guy jumped, he jumped and kicked his leg straight up. And the top of his head just goes bink when his arms are tucked behind his he was okay. I found out because I had to look that up like later. Like when I saw that clip, I was like, "That
guy's dead."
Is that what the pedigree is
that
supposed
man
to
is
be?"
dead.
Like, yeah, no, but it's one of my favorite finishers, and it's honestly the one that everyone kind of forgets when they want to steal stuff. I feel, but it's when you do it right, it's so perfect.
Looks so good.
Yeah, very cool finisher.
Yeah,
I saw that one in my head. I was like, oh,
I
understand.
They've been telling a lot of stories with it too, because like Seth Rollins does it now because he did the whole storyline of Triple H when he was his lackey, and then he went against Triple H and he took it, and he still does it like on occasion. Like it's bigger matches that they bring it out. Cody Rhodes, he brings it out on occasion, and that's a lot of story behind that. It goes all the way back to him going to AEW and like destroying the throne that Triple H sat on with a sledgehammer. He didn't say it, but
oh shit, okay,
yeah, no, that, and then like he would always tease it, but then he would do the Tiger Driver instead, or Tiger Bomb instead. And then when he went to WWE, he finally started doing the pedigree because like everyone was kind of seeing it, like there it is, kind of thing.
Dude, I should write wrestling stories, man.
Dude, wrestling is just stories, man.
Dude, all I do is write D&D stuff for all of these guys, and we run our campaigns. It's like every day I'm just writing new lore and like thinking about different quests and what's going to be happening. This whole time I'm like, I could just be writing wrestling stories, man.
Just watch old wrestling and take the storylines. Instead of a ring, it's a battlefield.
Yeah,
and then you'll be the only one who notices. Yeah. Wait a minute, Hunter. Did you shut up? Don't say anything. Shut your mouth.
All right, number 2.
What's number 2?
The RKO.
Oh, I know that one.
Everyone knows that one. That's why it's number 2.
Actually, one of my main finishers is the top rope cutter. I guess Cody cutter, but like I do it. You don't know, but you.
Yeah.
Do you know the best moonsault ever? That Crystal Daniels used to do.
Oh yeah.
The double spring.
Yeah.
I do it like that, but then I dive back for the cutter.
Oh, nice.
So like, I love the RKO.
Yeah.
That being said, RKO is also the thing that really messed up my knee after I tore my ACL. When I had a torn ACL, me and my friends in college were having a good time wrestling around, and my one friend got RKO'd. So I was like, hey, raised his hand, and I tried to turn on him and give him an RKO. This is before I ever wrestled or whatever. Yeah. And when I went to do it, I slipped and fell, hurt my knee even worse than it was.
No.
And so RKO has been very synonymous with my with my life, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's the one move, like, where even people who don't know about wrestling, if you say in a chat room or something, you're like, oh, RKO out of nowhere, they know you're talking about wrestling. They might not know what it is, but they've heard of it.
Well, I think you got to think, I think it was Vine, actually, that kind of, like, brought it mainstream, because remember all the compilations of Randy Orton's, like, stick figure, like, and it was pretty much, like, just epic videos of people failing.
Yeah, and they would just make it look like he's already...
And then I think that's what really got it, like, mainstream. Like,
I feel like, and tell me if I'm wrong, but is it the only one that really has a crowd buildup where it's like the whole watch out, watch out, watch out?
No, it's actually probably one of the quickest finishers that you don't even know.
Yeah, it comes out of nowhere
like,
most of
like
the time.
literally, it's known
RKO out of nowhere.
Like RKO is probably the one move that, like, you know, you see someone do a promo in the ring, and all of a sudden he slides in RKO, it's done.
Yep.
And they'll sell it for. I think they did it to Punk one time before he left WWE originally, and Punk didn't leave. He stayed in the middle of the ring until the arena was empty. Like,
damn.
Yeah, like
it's a good sell.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
But like, no, Randy's thing, like everything, like Sweet Chin music. That's like, I'm sorry, backtrack a little bit, but that's one of those things where it's like it can be out of nowhere, and then like that's one of the best things to have. But you can also do the tune up the band version when he's in the corner, and everyone's like,
and he's like
waiting for it. Like everyone wants to see it. So I feel like those are the best finishers. Is when you can get a quick one like that you didn't see coming, or you can have the whole showmanship leading up to it and everything like that.
Yep.
Very cool. Okay. And what's your number one?
So number one.
Okay.
Talking about what makes the best finishers. Wrestling's a dance between two people most of the time. There's one finisher I think that does that better than any other one, and that's the Stone Cold Stunner.
Yeah.
What's that one?
I'm gonna fight you. I was gonna fight you. I was gonna.
You're gonna get Stone Cold stunned.
I actually thought you were gonna say Tombstone. I didn't think you were gonna do. I thought Tombstone was a big one.
The Stunner. So it gives your opponent the opportunity to sell, and some of the best sells have come off stunners.
Okay.
Scott Hall, Austin Theory,
The Rock.
The Rock. Rock was really extra with his sells.
Yeah.
You do the push off with the roll.
Yeah, he'd like roll around and.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, it's one of those ones that can snap off out of nowhere, or you can have the build up to it. You know, you have Stone Cold like squatted in the corner waiting for them to turn around.
I mean, even when it's bad, it's still amazing. Like,
yeah.
I don't want to really talk much about him, but when McMahon took the stunner at the Mania that Stone Cold came back on,
yep,
it was the worst stunner of all. Like, and I almost laughed because I was like, okay, it's a little poetic that the first stunner that Vince McMahon ever took was the worst stunner ever.
Yep,
and then the last one he ever took is by far so much worse. Like it kind of just did a big like, hey, these are getting better.
Yep.
Wait a minute, they're not looking too good right now.
Yeah,
damn.
But even when it's bad, it's still
perfect
and entertaining. And then like you have Austin Theory, who literally like is falling midair when he's doing it and stuff.
You get the big crowd pop every time.
Yep.
He stunned people through everything, truck roofs and tables and off of things.
Actually, one of my favorite people just in the business, and he actually worked for WWE for a couple of years, was Colin Delaney, and he does like his arsenal of stunners. Like he does regular stunner, he does something called the stun dog, where if you get him up for a suplex, he's able to flip through, catch you with a stunner.
Whoa.
He does springboard 360 stunner, like he does all the stunners, and to the point where it's like I'll call a match or whatever, like, oh, you know what, like we could do a stunner right here, and I'm like, shit, Colin's on the show. No stunner.
No, please don't.
I'm not doing a stunner. He's a stunner guy. He does it. No, but Colin, he actually worked for WWE. He was do you remember him? Colin Delaney was probably like 2007.
Oh, yeah.
He was part of the ECW brand, and he teamed with Tommy Dreamer.
Yep.
He actually did the Chicago Bears helmet in the hardcore match. He actually talked to me about that, and he's like, yeah, they got the helmet like last second, and it didn't fit me, so when I did the headbutt, you just see he broke his nose. Or,
because I swung back into
it was
his
just cool.
face.
Like it's cool, like hearing those stories, and like I consider him a friend now, and he's actually one of the guys that gave me and my tag partner a match. Him and Cheech, their tag team name is To Infinity Beyond. They are the best tag team in the upstate in the area, and indies in general. I feel like they were one of the best tag teams ever, and that was one of the first matches that me and my tag partner had that were like, one, there was a more complicated match, but two, it like had us like push the envelope to like, oh no, we want to do more of this kind of stuff. This is fun now. Because before it was like new guys going against new guys we didn't get. Like you can have fun matches like that, but when you have veterans that know how to twist things on their head, how to like, essentially our first match was so good, I guess, that the promoter wanted to turn it into a best of 3 series. And it was the first match we went 26 minutes. Second match we were told that we had to keep it under 30 minutes. And we were like, why? Because it took one fall to get it took 26 minutes to get one fall. Second match was a 2 out of 3 falls. And we did that one in 24 minutes actually, and then the blow off was a 30-minute Iron Man match.
Nice.
And that went to overtime.
Blow off. That means the end of a feud match, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Ah, I learned. I know stuff.
So proud of you.
I know. I'm so good.
You get a gold star.
Fuck you.
We're getting down to the end here.
Oh yes, yeah.
You're a Taker guy, so I want your thoughts on. It's one of my favorite matches of all time.
Oh, I watched this one.
Undertaker, Mankind, King of the Ring, Hell in the Cell.
Oh god, I thought you were about to say Shawn Michaels and him. Yeah, no,
it doesn't get, it's not like one of the top matches because of what happened in the match slows the pace down so much.
Oh no, but here's the thing: it's all storytelling after that,
Yeah.
and the best part is it's all real storytelling.
Right.
I've seen so many interviews about this now, just because like that was like the most awe thing as a kid, like watching. I remember I've seen every Mick Foley interview. Like it seems like he's remembered a couple more things over the years, because he used to say like, "Yeah, I don't remember anything from that night." After the second fall, he's out.
Yeah.
Were both falls not planned, or
No,
was just one of them not?
So the first one.
First one was planned.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they essentially the first one was planned, and the only reason why they gave the okay for it was because Vince asked Mick if he went up there yet to see how it was and like do the logistics. He says yes. He didn't go up there once because he knew if he went up there, he was going to chicken out.
Oh,
so
man.
That one was planned, but there was just a one-time take on that one.
Okay.
The second one, what was supposed to happen was the fencing that he got chokeslammed on was supposed to stretch down like a chain link fence does. Like it's supposed to like kind of break a little bit and stretch down and have him hang upside down a little bit. Problem is when he went, the whole panel with the bars and everything went, not just the chain link.
Yep.
And on top of it, what's worse was when he walked back up, when he was climbing back up, and Taker was walking over to meet him.
Yeah.
Taker picks up the chair and tosses it on the panel, and then grabs him. They start working a little bit until the chokeslam spot, and that chair that he happened to toss there came down and hit him in the nose and mouth, and knocked his teeth.
That's what knocked his teeth out.
I did not realize that. I was watching. I was like, one of these are not planned,
Well,
right?
technically, didn't knock his teeth out. Knocked his teeth in.
Yeah.
His teeth went up. So you're gonna see, I'm not sure if you remember, but after he takes that and like Taker tried doing old school, and he's so dead when he's doing it, and he kind of just pushes him off and buys time. He's sitting in the corner. JR does an amazing call. He's like, "Oh, the son of a bitch is smiling," because it looks like he's smiling, like he likes the pain.
Yeah.
In reality, he's sticking his tongue through the hole that his teeth made, and it's looking like a smile. And you think it's a booger.
Yeah.
Oh my
He has a
God.
booger in his nose the whole time.
Yeah.
It's his tooth.
It's his tooth.
Oh my God! Holy
Like
shit!
that was.
And then there's
Dude, then he slams him into
the tax
tax.
spot
Yeah.
comes after that.
And like he was disappointed about it
That's
too.
the
'cause-
great thing watching that interview between the two.
Yeah,
of
he was
them.
disappointed about it
He's
because
like, "You got to do it again." I didn't.
Well, so Taker had him on his back because he did the mandible claw on his face.
Yeah.
And he was on his back, and Taker was holding him, fading. Last ditch effort, he just jumps backwards into the tax, holding him.
Yeah.
And they missed the tack, like not missed, but they didn't really hit the big meat of it.
Okay, yeah.
So Mick Foley's first mindset was like, "Oh, that's not enough." So he rolls deeper into the things after when he's selling. And like this is how out he was. Apparently, I think I heard it on Cornette's podcast where apparently he was just like, he was apologizing to Cornette, saying, or asking Cornette if he got the tax, or saying sorry that he wasn't able to get to the tax spot or something like that. And he's like, "Cactus." He calls him Cactus for Cactus Jack. He's like, "Cactus, you did the spot. Look at your arm." "Oh, that's good." The reason why I said look at his arm is his arm's covered in tax at the time.
Oh my
So he
gosh.
can't look at his own arm and be like, "Oh,
Yeah.
we did do the tax. Okay, that's nice."
And the fact,
Oh, I'm so happy we did that.
Oh, both those guys are like
dude.
Undertaker's coming down into the cell after it
Oh,
breaks.
he had a broken ankle.
And Terry
Oh,
Funk,
what?
Terry Funk's like getting
Unsung
up,
hero.
and he's
Unsung
like,
hero.
he's okay. It's like Undertaker's like, "I killed this man." It's-
So when you go,
Holy shit.
if you watch back the interview, you like Taker's talking about like, I thought you were dead right there.
Yeah.
When they pan up and see his face, that isn't him acting or acting.
yeah, he's
that's
like,
him going,
"Oh, I killed him.
"Oh, fuck,
I've
fuck,
killed a
fuck,
man."
fuck, 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 fuck."
I'm going to jail.
Taker going into this match had a broken ankle.
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
even
wow.
after everything Mick took, he's like, "How's your ankle?"
A broken ankle, and he went on top of the ring. That's the most unfucking stable floor.
Well, then he had to jump down. Remember?
Yeah. Oh
and
my
then he also did old
gosh.
school and got thrown off the top rope to the outside, hitting the cage.
Oh yes. Yep.
It's such like a different experience going
Yeah.
back and watching it too. Because when Taker gets up there and he steps on the first panel, you see all the zip ties go, and his foot
when they're
goes
walking,
through.
they're like there's one where like if they fell, they're hitting the ropes and like it's bad. It's
Holy
really
shit.
bad, like the way they put that one together. But but yeah, Terry Funk, unsung hero of the whole match. So I'm pretty sure Terry and Mick were actually in a rivalry at this point.
Yep.
But it was just like real life is happening right here. He came out to check on him after the first fall. Then
when he dislocated his shoulder, going through
he dislocated his shoulder on that first throw.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Then he, comes off the thing, and like that's all part of the plan. It's actually got Terry Funk to thank for the whole thing because when Mick's biggest fear was that they were doing the second Hell in the Cell. The first one was Shawn and Undertaker.
Yeah.
His biggest fear was not living up to that.
To the
so he's
first
like, how do we
one,
make it? Like, how do we make it different? Make it better? Terry Funk's like, well, why don't you start on top of the cell?
Why'd you go up there?
Like, he joked about it, and then. Sorry, I love the Terry Funk. That's my favorite thing to say. Is like, your mother's a whore, because that's his #1 line. Like, it's so great.
Oh god.
An egg sucking whore. Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, Terry Funk though, after the chokeslam thing, he runs in the ring checking on him. Like, this did not go to plan. This is bad. Undertaker finally drops down. He goes, and Terry Funk, like, kind of being in character, because back in the day, it wasn't like, hey, throw up the X match is over. Like, get mad. Like, it was there wasn't ending the match. There was just buying time.
Yeah.
If someone got hurt. So
is that the guy who threw his hat? He was like, when he threw that.
So
that's Terry
He's
Funk.
a legendary wrestler.
Okay.
Legendary wrestler. And when he threw his hat and everything, Taker under his breath was like, check if he's breathing. Goes down.
I can only
check if he's breathing. I think he goes down and checks his pulse. And it looks like he's just like, come on, wake up, wake up. He's really checking his pulse. He goes up, he's like, he's breathing. He goes, good. And then he choke slams him right there.
Yep.
And then they can't keep working there. They went like another 11 minutes after the second fall. Like, they did a full match after.
The match, starts basically.
I will say, when you
then
said watch this, I was like, oh, sure, it's going to be like 5 minutes. And I was like, the hell's a half an hour long? What is this? But it was worth it. It was worth watching.
Well, the best part, too, was Mick Foley right there showed his toughness and everything, and like I still love it, and I'll steal this for like bigger matches and stuff. You notice after all the punishment he took, after taking that last tombstone, the tacks, everything, do you know the last little thing he does at the end of the match?
When they're trying
when he's getting pinned. When he's getting pinned, you notice he kicks his one leg still.
Oh, yeah.
And that might not mean a lot to some people watching this.
He's basically like
but that's like
puts in the effort to
it's like
try the kick out.
It's like no matter like this man almost died right here, and even then you can't keep like he's still not fully down. Like he's still trying to kick out. He just physically can't get through. And that little extra bit, like I'll try to use that for bigger matches of like.
Yep.
I had a little bit left trying to do it because the heart's there, but just the physicality, it was too much at the time. Like, I love that.
Yeah.
Love it so much. Mick
Never
Foley's-
give up.
And then, they're backboarding him, and he makes the decision to walk out.
Oh, yeah.
And that put
Yep.
Mick Foley so over for the rest of his
So,
career.
That's a big thing for wrestlers. Like, wrestlers, a lot of time, if they're getting stretched out, they will do everything they can to make sure they don't. Like, Stone Cold, when he broke his neck, they tried to stretch him out, and they tried to carry him out. He wouldn't even let them carry him. He literally was like, I need to leave this place on my own 2 feet or I'm losing everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was before Stone Cold was like Stone Cold. He was turning into it. Like he was blossoming into the Stone Cold we know.
Okay.
But then like he was a technical, like fast paced wrestler. Like, but he was a very technical wrestler too. Where like after he broke his neck and everything, he went more to that brawling style because he just couldn't. Yeah. He wasn't the same kind of wrestler.
He had to protect his neck, basically. So.
Oh, wow.
Protect his neck, and also I think his hands, he said, weren't like the best with doing everything again. So, like, yeah, he had to change his whole style, and that's something a lot of wrestlers would do. Whether getting older, they have an injury, they have to change their whole style of what they do.
Yeah. Damn.
So,
damn.
Yeah. Yep,
I almost just said, Carter, get us out of here. Well, can't do that. How about you start getting us out of here?
All right. Well, I'll start doing that, guys. This has been the Older and Dumber podcast. You can find us everywhere on the internet at Older, the letter N, Dumber. If you like our content, you can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/OlderNDumber. That starts at just $5 a month. That's less than a cup of coffee at your favorite coffee place.
Well, before I can say goodbye, first we should say, TJ, where can people find you?
Yeah,
where do people go to see the things you do?
All right, so one, you can find me all over social media. It's TJ Epixx, EPIXX, and you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, as well as my tag team. You can find our page on Facebook and and Twitter. We don't have an Instagram yet. Okay. A lot of stuff trying to manage.
Yeah.
But that is just CXR. If you look up Critical X Revolution, you can find us as well. And then from there, you're going to see me at X site almost every month at the Arnott Mall here. Check out the Project X shows because people that I train with also are on those shows as well. And other than that, you can also find me on IWTV and YouTube. YouTube, you can find my page or just type my name and you see a lot of matches pop up. Actually, a lot of our matches are posted by my tag partner, Chael Connors. That's CHAEL.
Okay.
And then Connors. And I'm just going to plug the last thing, which was IWTV, because we're officially on it consistently now for our big shows.
Okay.
And we're usually live.
Very cool.
And it's like the Netflix of independent wrestling. So I highly recommend that. It's only $9.99 a month, and you get wrestling from all over the country, not just this area. Like, it's independent wrestling across like, the world. You can, there's WXW in Germany. There's all that stuff. And you're going to see a lot of old footage of wrestlers that you see today on WWE.
Okay,
so I highly recommend that, but yep, that's everywhere you can kind of find us right now.
Very cool. Awesome. That's cool, man. Well, oh, man, I was going to say something else, now I can't remember. You know what I am going to say, though?
What?
Thank you for watching another episode of Older and Dumber, the podcast about three dumb friends just trying to make it on this planet we call Earth. You missed your cue.
You did it
this guy was like, "Oh, I'll totally be ready for the next
watch the spot."
Earth. Okay. Thanks for having me, guys.
Just cut it in there, May. It's just, it'll work. Thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. You dipshits are great. Please, for the continued support, hit that like button, hit the subscribe. We love you, and we will see you again next week.
Earth. Yeah.
Bye, guys. Oh.